Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Justin Soltados, and on this YouTube channel, we focus in on 3 different areas: physical, mental, and spiritual health, a full systematic approach to you becoming the best version of yourself. Today, we're going to be talking about Googling your symptoms, and if you Google your symptoms, I would highly advise you stay put for this video. But before we get started, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and please hit that bell button so you can receive up-to-date notifications when these videos are posted. This one's going to be exciting. Stay tuned in. Let's get started. As always, first things first, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not claiming to be. This is just information that I've learned on my journey that works for me. So if you make any kind of changes or adjustments to your regimen, please check with your trusted sources first. So Google, what do these symptoms mean? What are the symptoms of this disease? With this disease, how long will I live? These are just a few of the questions that I ask Google. I ask Google so many different things, as if Google was a genie in the bottle and it had all the answers for my life. A little bit about my backstory. In 2011, I ended up getting extremely ill. I was diagnosed with Lyme disease, Epstein-Barr virus, multiple co-infections, mold toxicity, depression, anxiety, and the list goes on and on and on. Different doctors were kind of diagnosing me with different things, but nobody had a definitive answer on how to help me get better. My body became very ill and I was very systematic. I had over 40 different symptoms going on throughout my body. Head pressure, tingling sensations, crawling sensations, burning sensations, muscle twitches, muscle spasms, muscle jerkings, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. I was a mess. All praise to God, I am back on my feet and I am back in the game of life and doing well. Back then though, I turned to my buddy Google and I Googled to try to find the solution. I had to fix this and I had to fix it now. Google, I just need your help. I just need an answer. Please tell me how to get better. Please give me that magic potion, that supplement, that food, that regimen. I need results and I need results now. I can't take this anymore. I would sit there for hours and hours and hours Googling and Googling and Googling from the second I woke up to the second I dropped. Problem is, I wasn't sleeping. I had massive insomnia because of all the information that I was seeing in front of my face each and every day. I was scared to death. According to Google, my life was over and I needed a plan for my grave. So that's what I did. I started really picturing and visualizing, you know what? I'm not gonna live much longer. So what do I need to do in these last few weeks of me living? Our eyes are the steering wheel of our body and the entry points to our soul. Whatever we see and look at fills our mind, imagination, and thoughts after a while. I was in front of this computer from sun up to sundown and I was receiving all these things and it was filling my imagination. A lot of thoughts that were leaving me completely hopeless. As I was Googling, I was also filling my subconscious and my conscious with a bunch of thoughts that don't need to be there. So my eyes are the steering wheel of my body and they were steering directly to the problem. I was focused in on trying to find out what the problem was and how big it was and how I truly couldn't survive with it. Not what I wanted, but the fear started pushing me in that direction. The more I Googled, the more fearful I became. It started to influence my conscious and my subconscious, and they truly believe that 95% of your life is controlled by your subconscious, and I was on the fast track to destruction. The more emotion that we have behind thoughts, whether positive or negative, the more quickly these thoughts will manifest. I was manifesting negative thoughts because I was looking for the symptoms of a sickness. My eyes, my thoughts, my subconscious, my heart, my conscious were now filled with a bunch of garbage. My eyes were focused in on the wrong things, and before you know it, I started experiencing very blurry vision. I used to have perfect vision, and now all of a sudden, I had blurred vision. As I was fearing these things, I started to develop more and more symptoms. My dad would come up to me as I was in front of the computer, and he said, "Justin, if you don't change and get away from that computer, you're going to die. Put your faith in God and stop fearing this situation. I like to say that I listened and got off the computer immediately, but I continued to keep on Googling. My body was ill. I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't getting straight answers from the doctors. It was all wishy-washiness. You think you could be doing this? Might want to try this. This could help. We're not sure what to do. For me being a problem solver, I didn't want to hear that. I didn't want to hear this could help, this might help. I wanted an absolute. The symptoms continued to grow worse and worse and worse, and they were manifesting day in and day out. The more I Googled, the more I looked at what was in front of me, I started manifesting what I was looking at. Once again, our eyes are the steering wheel of our minds, and I started being steered towards the wrong things by my own doing. And before you know it, my mind was corrupt, and I started to experience physical symptoms in my body on top of whatever else I was already feeling. The truth of the matter is most illnesses mimic each other. It might be an illness that says you have these symptoms and you think, oh my goodness, I have this name, I have this sickness, I have this disease. There's a different sickness and illness that has the same kind of symptoms associated with it. After going through a hell of a health journey, is to make sure that you don't try to self-diagnose yourself. There's many tests out there that I believe that can help. One of them to mention is a hair mineral analysis test. I don't know about you, but for me, I only like to really take advice from people that have actually experienced a hardship or maybe have went through something that I'm going through. If you're looking for advice from somebody that's actually been through it with a health condition, trust me, when it comes to Google, I believe I know what I'm talking about. Inside the word it says, God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. I had no kind of self-control, and I was always operating in fear at this point, and that's why these symptoms were manifesting. Like it says in the word, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find. Well, I was asking for the wrong things and seeking the wrong things, and I was finding the wrong things. I didn't know how to use the word of God at this point, and I was falling apart. But I know I'm not the only one because I hear it all the time. People are asking Google the wrong questions, and they're paying the price for it. As soon as they hear that they have this symptom or this sickness, they fall apart. They self-diagnose themselves, or they hear from a doctor that they have a certain illness, and they'll Google it till the cows come home trying to fix it, and it only makes the problem worse. Nah, Justin, I don't know if you know what you're talking about, man, because I'm only trying to find good things for my situation. I'm just trying to really get myself back in the game of life and feel a lot better. I'm looking for Google to be a tool for my health journey. I get it. I understand it. When it comes to doctors today, you don't always get clear-cut answers, and it frustrates you, and it makes you want to try to take steps in that direction to try to help your situation out that much faster because you don't want to continue to live in this kind of pain. How do you use the tool of Google when it comes to your symptoms? Don't look for your problem. If you're looking for your problem and what your problem will do to you and what this sickness is going to cause and the symptoms and how bad you're going to get it and how quick you're going to die, that is the wrong way on how to use Google. After taking a long break from Google as my life was completely falling apart, I started to understand that there was a good way to actually use Google. I had to change what I was searching for. The truth of the matter is most doctors use Google nowadays, even when it comes to diagnosing people, but they know how to use it. You have to watch what you read and you have to guard your heart, because if you're coming across different blogs and different articles and different things on websites, it can really put a lot of fear in you about your situation. And not to mention, this could just be people that are putting out textbook information that have not truly really experienced it in their own life. They can make it seem like it, just like anybody out there can write a blog today. So don't always trust what you read, and be careful what you're reading, and you have to guard your heart. Like the word of God says, out of the heart is the wellspring of life. So if you're corrupting your heart in that spring, there's going to be nothing but pollution in there, and you're not going to have that life that's supposed to spring and actually supposed to flow. Whatever you ask Google, make sure that it leads to life, you having life, and you're going to focus in on things that have to do with physical, mental, and spiritual, because if you're just focused in on the supplements and just the foods, you're going to miss the full systematic approach healing that you need in your body. What you magnify will manifest. So what you're looking for, you're going to find. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So don't start thinking the wrong things about your situation and how bad it is and how awful it is, because that's going to be what you're going to become. You need to think thoughts that lead to life. And if you need Google to Google your symptoms or whatever, just make sure you're asking it the right kind of questions. And if you see something that could be toxic or like a toxin, meaning like an article that has like a lot of like stuff that's going to cause fear, stay away from it and guard your heart. Only receive life about your situation when using Google. You have to ask yourself, do you want to get well? If you desire to get well, you have to be wise about what you're doing and how you're doing it. Dr. Carolyn Leaf says, as we think, we change the physical nature of our brain. As we consciously direct our thinking, we can wire out toxic patterns of thinking and replace them with healthy thoughts. This was encouraging to hear from myself in my situation because I had so many different toxic thought patterns, and I would have to say 95% of what I was looking at was not actually serving life, but serving death. So the good news is as we think thoughts of life, we can rewire these toxic thought patterns and actually cause them to be healthy thought patterns. We put ourselves in a position to heal ourselves and our brain. We already received the healing if you understand the word, but we have to receive it and believe it and only add to our healing by adding life to what we're searching for. Today I have given you the choice between life and death, between blessings and curses. Now I call on heaven and earth to witness the choice you make. Oh, that you would choose life so that you and your descendants might live. According to the word, you got a choice. So when it comes to Googling your symptoms, you have a choice. You have to choose the right way to do it. You're looking for life and you're not looking for death. And don't be surprised when you start experiencing more symptoms than you even have, like I did, because you're focused in on the wrong direction. Be wise when it comes to using Google. Let's magnify life, and then remember, test everything that you do and make sure it approves for you. Just because it works for somebody else doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. Hey, if you liked the video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Share it with a friend that needs this. Comment in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts on this video. And then if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing today and hit that bell button so you can receive up-to-date notifications when these videos are posted. Thanks so much for viewing, and I'll see you for another video here real soon.